Seriously, one of the best feelings. And I had so many of them tell me like, thank you for everything you've done this year, and just being like really supportive and kind of like talking to me, and even saying like they wanted to help me in any way they could with my job search. One of my students in my autograph book wrote, "I love you because you have a big heart." My camera battery is not charging. It's about to die. And there we go. And I don't have any backup batteries, so the beginning of this vlog is going to be on my phone, which is a little more shaky, but I feel like this is just gonna be a fun vlog. So it's like a throwback vlog. Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I am a kindergarten teacher in Northern California. We are at the end of the year. We have like 10 school days left. We started our 10-day countdown yesterday, which I did a 10-day countdown to the day before the last day of school because the last day of school is just a half day, and we also have kindergarten graduation. So it's like a 10.5-day countdown, but it was such an incredible start. If you didn't see the video I posted recently on how I prepared and planned for this 10-day countdown, or you just want the details, not really the vlog and how it went, you can check this video out up here. I also showed you how I made my end of the year gifts for my students. So I didn't vlog yesterday because it was just parachute day and we didn't do a whole ton besides read a book and play with the big parachute. Today, however, was fancy day, so I'll show you my outfit. Can you see? Super cute. Got the necklace, got the dress. My dress today is from Amazon. I'm gonna leave it probably in my Amazon storefront, which you can find the link for down below. And I don't know, I just thought this necklace was something that kindergartners would like. I actually like it a lot too. I don't feel like anybody wears their necklaces like this anymore. But anyways, back to the fun. So today was fancy day, and I let my parents know a couple of weeks ago what our theme days were gonna be, just so they could have time to prepare for days like fancy day and some of the more dress up days. And I sent out a dojo reminder last night and this morning that today was fancy day, and every single student except two, one of them said they didn't want to dress up, one of them said they forgot, dressed up. And it was so sweet seeing them come in this morning. I think that was my favorite part because every single student came in and they were like, you could tell they were feeling themselves, and I was like, oh my goodness, you look so fancy, or you look so handsome. We were giving each other compliments. It was just the best. You could tell that the second they walked up, they were just different. They felt so special, and I loved it. So I took the opportunity today to take pictures of them out in front of this like pretty bush that we have, and I also pulled out their kindergarten graduation gowns, and I filmed a little kind of clip that I want to put in our end of the year slideshow at kindergarten graduation, just where they're like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be whatever. So they're dressed all fancy and they have their kindergarten gown kind of on top open so you can see their outfit. Because I feel like it's a lot easier to include a video instead of having kids come up, because they can be really shy in front of crowds. So that's kind of going to be what we do for graduation. What else for fancy day? We read Fancy Nancy, which a couple of them had heard of, and apparently there's a Fancy Nancy show, which I didn't know about, but we read Fancy Nancy. Let me show you our little anchor chart. I literally made this on the spot and they were so fascinated. So that's great. Whenever you make anchor charts in front of kids, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so we talked about like all of the fancy words that Fancy Nancy uses, and then we talked about like what the words actually mean. They loved posh and they loved chauffeur. They thought that was great. Also, she uses the word darling in the book, and they thought that was like kind of gross. Like I said darling and they were like, ew, and I was like, what? They're just funny like that. But while they were working in centers, I had them decorate and color a crown, and then I called them to my back table to add glitter to it, which we have not used glitter in the classroom really at all. And today my classroom, like, it's clean now, but it looked like an explosion happened. There was glitter everywhere. So you can kind of see like what it looked like, and you bet that I wore this all day long. So they had their crowns, and then while I was like stapling them together, they just watched like a little Fancy Nancy episode, which actually they were really interested in. Even the boys who were like, oh, I don't want to watch this, they were like glued to it. So I'm like, okay, sure. A little bit earlier in the day, I had them write their name on their kindergarten autograph book. This is what it looks like. It's hard to tell, but this says Miss Call. It might actually be backwards too. I haven't filmed on my phone in a long time, so I'm not sure. but I had them write their name and then I went over it with glue and I put glitter on it, which again, this is part of the reason why there was glitter all over our classroom, because at the end of the day, like literally the last thing they did was they signed autographs with their friends. And this is one of those things that I was like, this could go horribly wrong. We could just sit in a circle and like rotate the books, but I feel like that's taking the fun out of it. And I really wanted them to get like the experience of signing autographs. And I don't know, I'm one of those people who really wants to like put her faith in her kids. I want to trust them. I want to let them try things and I want to not underestimate them. So I was like, okay, we're going to try to do it like the normal way. So keep in mind, I'm kindergarten. None of my kids knew what an autograph was before this. So I made sure to go over what an autograph is, what an autograph isn't. I made sure to go over how to sign your name. Don't write it too big. Don't write it too small. Don't write it on top of someone else's name. And then we came up with some like sweet compliment phrases that we could write in our autograph books if they wanted to. You can read them. And we definitely had to have the conversation about, you don't write that person's name in their book. You write your name in their book so they can remember you. And that was kind of confusing to them at first, but they got it. So I had a student come up with their autograph book. We demonstrated what it looks like, what it sounds like. Will you sign my autograph book? And you say yes because it's polite, and you sign it and you write something nice, all of that stuff. You have to explain so much to kindergarten, but they did a really good job and it was super sweet because they were just being so peaceful, walking around the room, signing each other's books, writing sweet messages. One of my students in my autograph book wrote, "I love you because you have a big heart." By the way, if you're interested in anything that I am showing in this video, check out my last vlog that I mentioned a little bit earlier where I show you how I plan and set up for it, because I have all the resources linked in that video. And I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna link them all again in this one. So just check that one. I need to go. Tomorrow is game day. That'll be fun. And I will see you then. Hey, sweet friends, it's Friday. It's game day. It was game day. Thank goodness game day is over, because game day was a mess. Not in the sense of like what we did, but just in the sense of my kids were done. They were done. Totally done. I feel like they listened to me 30, 40, 50%. I had like the solid few who always listen, but it was a lot. And I could tell that they were very, very excited. And so I think that played a big role in it. And I have to remember they are 6. It's funny because I have been going back in this book. You guys have seen me talk about it on my channel, but it just talks about like developmentally where students are at, or where children are at different ages. And I just keep having to go back and read the 6-year-old section, because everything they're doing, all of the behaviors, it's age appropriate. It's just a lot for me. So I need to remember to have more patience with them. That being said, they do know the expectations, and I told them, this is your warning. Next time you're gonna miss out on whatever activity is coming up next. I think you're crooked. And so first thing in the morning, one of my friends was not doing their morning journal. I was like, okay, you're not gonna get to do our morning activity. And they didn't get to do our morning activity. If you saw my planning video for all of my countdown days, I broke down everything I was doing. We did start the morning with that candy game. And let me explain to you how I played it, because I didn't really explain it in that vlog. So we were all sitting in a circle on the carpet, and I had, we'll say 20 pieces of candy in the middle, because I have 20 kids. Really, that one student didn't get to join, so I pulled one out. It was just 19. But I had 2 dice containers. These containers are from Dollar Tree. Pretty much everybody uses them to hold their dice in, so nothing new. But I told them, and I took them out so they could see. I was like, if you roll and you get different numbers, then you can take a piece of candy from the middle. If you roll and your numbers are the same, then you get to steal a piece of candy that someone already has. So I started the dice on opposite ends of our circle, and I went first and a student went first. We rolled it. We both got different numbers, so we both took a piece of candy from the middle. Then we passed the dice to the next person, and everybody goes around, and then when you get the dice again, you can roll it, and you can either swap with the piece of candy that's in the center, or you can steal. And then when the timer runs out, which I think I set mine for like 6 minutes, whatever piece of candy you have is what you get. There were tears. So that is the candy game. I will say we did start our day, like first thing in the morning, I read Pig the Winner. This totally hilarious book. Thank you again, Narissa, for sending this to our classroom. My kids loved this. It was so funny because at the end of the day, one of my students was like, Miss Call, guess what? And I was like, what? He was like, I have a new favorite book. And I was like, what's your favorite book? He's like, Pig the Winner. And I was like, that's great. I love that. But it's about a pig who's a sore loser. And we talked about like main idea, author's purpose, and then how is this going to help us throughout our day? Did it help? I don't know. I still had some, I guess, you know what? No, I didn't have any sore winners. So right after we played the candy game, we moved into our center time. I didn't have them actually do centers just because I knew I had so much I wanted to do with them today. So I had different stations set up around the room. One station, which my kids were the most excited for, was our M Tiny. We named it Taco. You guys have seen me talk about this in a previous vlog, and we just love it so much. My kids had a ball with this, and there is another teacher that's here in the classroom with me. So I set up our robot, which I have a link in the description box if you want to try it out. It's amazing. I set it up over here. So then at my table, we made, I don't know what they're called. I called them fortune tellers. And I didn't like explain it too much. I really just wanted it to be like a fun thing for the kids. I didn't say like, you pick blue and we spell blue. They had M Tiny with the other teacher. They had fortune tellers with me. And then they had basically like a mini free choice, just like some toys over here. And then on the carpet, I brought out golf and like these bean bags, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever. So we did that for centers. And at the end of centers, I just played Pig the Pug, which is the original book to this. You can kind of see it says Pug in the background because this book is like the sequel to Pig the Pug. So it's like Pig the Pug, but like this book is Pig the Winner, you know what I mean? So we listened to that real loud because it's short, it's like 2 minutes. And then we went to lunch. After lunch, we came back into the classroom and we did, it wasn't an author study, but we read all these books that I showed you in that countdown video by Mo Willems, and they freaking love Mo Willems. But my kids, they really struggle not to blurt so much when we're on the carpet, and I need to be better about using the management techniques that like I know to use, but I just don't think to use when I'm in the moment, because I'm in the moment, I'm like, stop talking, or that's a warning, or go sit over there, or debug. Like I don't think to use the things that I know to use, like the little golf clicker that I have. It looks like this. I think I've shared it before, but you click it and it'll count, and you can kind of track interruptions and you can have them set goals. I think I might just use this tomorrow. There's tons of things that you can do, and then I just feel like whenever I'm in the moment, I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, I know you know better than this, and they clearly don't. So we read these, and then it was so cute. We did a little mini book. These mini book templates come with my, I think, Moffat Girls curriculum, and I just put them over in these publishing drawers because these drawers right here, because my kids love just making mini books. But I did like a little kind of sort of directed drawing with them. I had them draw like the grass that Mo Willems always puts, well, of course not on that one or that one. Most of his books have like this little grass hill on the front. So we did that. And then I kind of walked them through how to draw Piggy and Elephant. And I was like, you can make up your own story. And we didn't get to fully finish all of the writing, but just seeing them like draw their own Elephant Piggy story, it was just adorable. And they came out so cute, and they all had the cutest stories. So that was really fun. If you do an author study in kindergarten, please let me know. Like, give me all the details, because that's something that I really want to do. But I'm like, when is the right time to do it? When is it, like, what are the things that you do? I don't know. It's also so funny because one of my kids went to write, and he's like, Miss Call, how do you spell first? And I was like, it's in the writing center. And this is what I meant. Like, that's in our writing center. But what does he do? He goes to our writing superstar song. And he said, capital letter always first. And then he ran over there and like copied it. And I was like, I love that. And then I saw a couple of other students in our library copying Elephant and Piggy because they wanted to know how to spell it. And I was like, look at you guys using your resources. Love that. And then I feel like the rest of the day was just a big blur, honestly. We played this zoo game. So I grouped them up. Everybody got a little recording sheet. And then I had these little animal card pictures, elephant, lion, sloth, peacock, kind of spread out around the room. And I had them take like a very short amount of time to collect animals, and then I had them count animals, so however many lions they got here, how many sloths, how many elephants, how many peacocks, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna buy your animals and this is how much I'm gonna pay. So for lions, like let's say I did $1, sloths $2. There were a couple of times where I was like, I don't really want elephants, $0, and some of them had collected like 3 elephants and they were like, what, Miss Cole? And then like, okay, peacock $2. Small group of students took all of their cards. So let's say between the 4 or 5 kids, these are the cards that they found. They put them together and they counted how many they had. So the group had 2 lions, so they would say 2 lions. Then after everybody counted up how many animals they had. I said, okay, this is how much I'm going to pay. And then I had them add up how much it was with mini erasers. There is a different way I would go about doing this next time. I think I would have them, let's say I had 2 lions and then I was like, okay, I'm going to buy them for $2. I think next time I do this, because I do want to do this again, it's actually a pretty advanced skill for kindergarten, but I was surprised at the amount of kids who actually got it. I just gave them mini erasers to add it up. But for some of my kids, I was like, okay, how many lines do you have? 2. Okay, here's 2 circles. How much are they worth? 2. Okay, so put 2 in each circle and then add it up. Again, this is basically teaching them multiplication in a roundabout way. You know what I mean? Was it the easiest thing? No. Should I have done it earlier in the day? Yes, I should have, because it was not the end of the day activity that I should have done. It was a lot for them at the end of the day. But they thought it was really fun. And you know what? Even if they didn't do it perfectly right, or even if they didn't add it perfectly right, if they're having fun, that's great. After that, we did, I think, their favorite thing, and that would be this tic-tac-toe board. If you watch my vlogs during St. Patrick's Day during March, they had a similar one to this, and I was like, I'm going to make a game day one. So I just put balls at the bottom. I made this. It's in my Google Drive link. If you're following me on Instagram, then you already know about that. But basically what I have them do is they all have clipboards, and then they all get like a skinny marker, and they go outside and they just find a partner, play tic-tac-toe on their board, find a partner, play tic-tac-toe until your whole board fills up. And I told them, when your whole board fills up, I have a prize for you, and I gave them a whistle. So I'm glad I saved it for the end of the day, because of course they were tempted to blow it. And I was like, don't blow it, don't blow it. We will blow it together, but don't blow it. And it was at this time, the very end of the day, when I was the most obnoxious teacher ever, because I had them all go outside, sit in a circle, and I was like, okay, I'm going to blow a pattern on my whistle, and you're going to copy that pattern. And I did like a little, and they went, just the loudest whistle noise ever. And I was like, stop, copy my pattern. And then it was better, but they were having fun with it. And I'm like, well, you know what? A little whistling noise for 2 minutes is not going to hurt anybody. And if it does hurt somebody, they're kindergarten. So, and they were like, Miss Cole, do we get to keep them? And I was like, yes, I got them for you. And they're like, wow. They were just fascinated. And this is one of the cheaper things on Amazon. So all this is linked in the other video, but it was really funny. Also, some of them went to blow the whistle really hard, but they covered up the hole, and it was like, and then their cheeks blew. It's just funny. Watching kindergartners do anything is just so funny to me. I feel like I've been talking to you for like 20 minutes. We've done so much today. The very last thing we did was we played the game. It's called like the fruit basket game, but I just called it the color wheel game because I didn't end up printing fruit. I just cut up pieces of colored paper. So let me show you how I played. They liked this. We only played it for like maybe 5 minutes, and I was like, you know what? This will be a great morning meeting game for us to play. It was fun. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, so all my kids, my whiteboard was pushed off. All my kids were sitting on the edge of the carpet because there's 20 of them. But just imagine, for the sake of this tutorial, also, no, I have no idea what happened back there. For the sake of this tutorial, imagine this is your entire class. So every student sits right behind a colored piece of cardstock, and I'm calling this game color wheel because there are no fruit, so it didn't make sense to call it fruit basket. So this is the color wheel game. So everyone sits, and one person starts out in the middle. If you are starting out in the middle, you call out a color. So if I call out yellow, everyone who has a yellow square, so like this person and this person, would have to switch. So all the yellow square friends would get up and try to grab another yellow spot, and the person who's in the middle has to try to steal a spot. So if I'm playing and I call out red, this person who's sitting on red and this person who's on red, they're both getting up and trying to find another spot. So obviously whenever someone stands up, there's going to be an empty spot. Someone's going to try to steal it, and then I'm going to try to steal it too. So there's always going to be one person in the middle calling out colors. And if you're my kindergartners, you're pretending like you don't see a spot because you want to be in the middle. But it's totally fine. They thought it was super fun. Also, I created a section in my Amazon storefront for end of the year countdown materials, so check that. I have my outfit that I'm wearing today in it, the shirt, these whistles. So here's what it looks like. I like that it is long. And my kids kept calling me coach all day, and I'm like, I'm a referee. And they're like, okay, coach. And I'm like, okay. I think that's everything we did today. It was a lot of fun. It was crazy. I'm so glad it's Friday, and I'm so glad I did not choose to do this on like a Wednesday because it was a lot. I'm glad they had fun. There were tears. It was a lot, but it was great. It was fine. It's just the end of the year craziness, you know? Monday is show and tell day, so I will see you then. And my hair will be shorter. I was supposed to get my hair cut today, but the lady who was going to cut it canceled, so I'm getting it cut tomorrow. Welcome back, sweet friends. It's been a second for you, but it's been a weekend and a whole Monday for me. Okay, here's my outfit. You guys have seen my shirt before. It's in my Etsy, but I'm pairing it with this cute skirt. It is like the perfect length, and I got it from Amazon, so I am happy to share that link for you if you check the Amazon storefront in the description box. I'm just wearing it with some flats, but I thought it was super, super cute. It's very flowy. It does catch the wind a little bit, but another thing I had to invest in are these like nude, they're kind of like biker shorts, because this skirt can be a little see-through, so this was helpful. I'll link these too. I learned this on TikTok, is to tuck your shirt into your tights so you don't have that like the shirt just in there. And I was like, that is genius. So that's the outfit for today. I think she's very cute. So for our theme day today, it was show and tell, which was kind of tricky for some of my kids to like not have their show and tell item out all day. All of our surprises that we're doing for our entire countdown are going to be mostly held at the end of the day, unless it is a full theme day like game day was. Yeah, I'm just kind of at the point in the year in kindergarten where they just don't want to listen. And I think kindergarten teachers everywhere are telling you the same thing, like this is just how it is at the end of the year. But it's so hard because I'm like, there was a period of time where they were great listeners, but that's just how it goes. I'm, again, trying to be really, really patient with them. I'll give you a little demonstration. Something that I found works really well, because for a while I'll give you a little demonstration. Something I found that works really, really well when you use novel effect is I played it through my phone at first and it was kind of hard to hear, and then I linked it to my smart board and it was okay, but I think the best way to do it is to link it up to a Bluetooth speaker, and then if you have a Bluetooth microphone, it works great for that. I have a link for this in my Amazon link in the description box. You knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. He had different tastes in food. So it can tell when you go to a different part of the book too, which I didn't know until just now. It is so cool, and my kids ask for it all the time, and it honestly makes reading, I love reading. It's very clear that like picture books are my thing, but it makes reading 10 times more fun for me, and I was already at level like 100, so very cool. And our Primary Scouts craftivity that goes with it is this adorable little narwhal in a, they glued theirs upside down. Well, that's kindergarten for you, right? And we'll see you guys tomorrow. It is magical day. The next time you see me, I will be dressed like a narwhal. Hey, Sea Friends, good morning. Today is Tuesday. I am in a phenomenal mood today. I am very excited for magical day. I need to change. I decided I would just come to school wearing shorts and like athletic mesh warm-up hoodie from Robotics, because I'm going to be wearing this onesie and I know I am going to be hot. So I'm trying to keep the layers underneath minimal. I'm probably just gonna keep on my like sports bra under this, and then later in the day I'm gonna be wearing that blow up unicorn outfit. So I'm gonna be hot. I got a nitro coffee today because I figured I could use the extra caffeine. I think this is like the most caffeine you can get at Starbucks is like when you order the nitro. So I got a nitro cold brew with vanilla sweet cream cold foam. I feel like I'm already energized. I was also listening to Post Malone this morning, which just reminds me of like being in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, because I listened to that album like nonstop. I did end up going to Dollar Tree. First of all, they had this unicorn hand soap and I was like, you know what? I should get that because today is magical day, and I think they'll notice too. I think they'll be excited. So unicorn hand soap, but I was on the hunt for picture frames, as you guys know. I actually ended up FaceTiming Kenzie from the store and I was like, help me pick which ones, because I don't know, because there was like a bigger one, but it was just a little bit cheaper and like not really as cute. And then they have these smaller ones, which are smaller, but they're nicer. And she was like, that's way more like our style. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So it's small. I'm gonna put their silhouette in here, but I think it'll be a nice little keepsake. So I might do these. I might do these this weekend, and I might just do them like if I do it on Instagram, probably not YouTube, but you'll see the end result on YouTube. I'm very excited. Okay, the outfit is on. Well, I regret wearing this. I might, but will it be worth it for the kids? Totally. Got the, it's hard to see like if it's just on your head, but like, yes. And then from the back, we've got the tail. I think the tail actually pins up. I feel like I'm way too excited about this. I'm already hot. Was this a mistake? I don't know. That's my outfit. Will not be wearing that hood. I actually have a couple things that I need to prep for today, so catch up with you after school. Okay, magical day is over. I'm gonna show you my unicorn costume and then kind of talk to you about what we did because I'm burning up. So the first thing you're probably wondering is it hot? And the answer is yes, it is very hot. In case you cannot tell, I am a mess, but that's totally okay, no regrets. The second thing is, this is actually really easy to put together. I was kind of worried because I hadn't opened it until like 10 minutes before I was about to do it with my kids. But I just put in some AA batteries into this little pack right here. I think each pack holds like 4 AA batteries, and you don't need a screwdriver or anything, so it's great for like the classroom because it's very simple. You just put it in, or you can use a like a rechargeable battery pack. And then there's these fans on the side, so you just screw them in, and then there's this cord attached. So if you wanted to use a reusable battery pack, like if you have a couple of them, you can do that. I just use batteries because I didn't think to bring them. And when you plug it in, it starts it starts blowing up your costume. And I decided to wear shorts because I knew I would be so hot in my Narwhal outfit. And it was really convenient. They have a pocket right here, so I just put the pack in my pocket, but they also have a little clip. You have to either clip it to you or put it in your pocket. Okay, I look a little bit more presentable. The hair is a little crazy, but we're just gonna work with it. So that was the last thing that we did for today. And it was actually super fun because there is another teacher who's in here with me all day. And I was like, hey, do you care to like stay with the kids and dismiss them so I can go outside and like wave to them, wave goodbye, and kind of wave at the cars? And she was like, yeah, great. So I did that. It was super fun. But it's also California, and let me check the weather right now. I think it's like 97 or something. Oh, it's not even 90s. Just felt like it in the suit. It says it's 84. Whatever, felt like 90. So the unicorn outfit, it's in my Amazon storefront, and I have a section on there for the countdown materials that I used, and it's in there. It is so worth it. It was one of those things that I wasn't sure about, but I'm really glad I did it. So before they went outside, again, this was the last thing we did for the day, I read them this book, How to Catch a Unicorn, and I kind of went through it really quickly because I wanted to make sure we had time and everything was nice and fantastic. So read this super quickly, and then I was like, hey, I have to take something to the office really quickly. I'll be right back. And then I asked my teacher who's in here if she could just take them outside, and that would be the last thing they did for the day. So I go and I head into the bathroom and I change and put on my unicorn suits. That thing fills up actually super fast. I think it only took like a minute to fill me up, and it was super easy to just throw on. So I kind of snuck back around to where they were playing, and we just ran outside together. I let them chase me. We played Duck Duck Goose for a minute. I let them race me, but it was just fun to kind of be out there with them, and they were very silly, and it was, I think, the highlight of my day. And then we took a little water break, and let me show you the snacks I gave them. I found these at Dollar Tree. It's called Magical Marshmallow Twists. Originally I was gonna, because they always have like unicorn Little Debbies, and then I was like, well, I don't really feel like spending like more money getting Little Debbies, and they ended up having these at the dollar store, and I told them it was my unicorn poop, and they loved it. They loved it. So that was really fun. And then we came inside and I let them have a little unicorn Q&A. So they asked me questions about like, how high can I fly? And where do unicorn babies come from? Which was great. Absolutely great. And then one of them asked me what we eat and how we poop. So, you know, typical kindergarten questions, but a lot of fun. I feel like I'm still trying to catch my breath. Other than that, we really didn't do a ton today. I was wearing my Narwhal onesie at the beginning of the day, which I really wasn't that hot in. I cranked up the AC in here, and I had my fan, and with my hood down and like me pulling up the onesie to my knees, it really wasn't that bad. So we read Not Quite Narwhal again. The second time through, they really enjoyed it. And what else? Oh, we finished these crafts from Primary Scout. So they just added why they were special, and we talked about how whenever we do affirmations, it's a compliment that we give to ourselves, and it's true. And we kind of said, I'm special because whatever, and we made an anchor chart together. You can see actually an anchor chart to me, it's just writing on the board. So this is what it looks like. It says, I am special because, and then we just came up with these ideas. Give it some focus. We did our Happy Dreamer book, and we did our unicorn and narwhal activity, which I posted me drawing our anchor chart for that on my Instagram stories. Let me show, oh, hold on. So I drew the template during my planning time, which is in the morning. And then this was pretty much the first thing we did when they came in, is we started this because I knew it was going to take a long time. And I feel like we did something else. This day is a blur, but it was so much fun. No, yeah, this was the first thing we did when they got here. So we read Happy Dreamer and we talked about what we were excited to do or to learn about or to just see in first grade. So some of the things we came up with together were learn to read, try new centers, learn new things, get a new teacher, read more books, and go on field trips. So those were some really good ideas that they had. And then I feel like one of the things that I'm really trying to do is get them hyped up to go to first grade. Because I know with kindergartners a lot of time, they're like, oh, this is my first teacher. I love you so much. I don't want to leave you. And I'm like, no, go be excited to go to first grade. They could choose between a unicorn or a narwhal. And I shouldn't have been surprised. I really shouldn't have. But a lot of my boys, I kind of expected to just get narwhals, and I kind of expected the girls to get unicorns because that's how it was when I taught first grade. But so many of my boys were like, I want to do the unicorn. I was like, awesome. Love that for you. So in first grade, when I did this, we basically did it whole group. So we made this anchor chart together, and then they did the writing on their own, and then I showed them a picture of the final product and said, here are the pieces, grab what you need, and they did it. Well, kindergarten is very different, so I decided it would be much better if we did this small group. And so I had all the other students working in centers, and I pulled them in groups of like 4 to 6 at my back table, and we built it together. So it was a lot. It took a really long time. That was a huge chunk of our day, but today was super, super fun. I think if I was going to like skip some days next year or do my countdown again, which I think I definitely will, this is one of the days that I'm absolutely gonna keep. Definitely recommend. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. Happy Dreamer was not the first thing we did this morning. The first thing we did, like I said, it's been a super long day, was make our magic bracelets, which let me show you guys what they look like. Mine is like a little bit big on me. But in my video where I showed you my planning for the countdown video, I showed you these magic beads that I had. And again, this is something I did with first grade and they loved. When I did with first grade, we did our scientific predictions and everything, and they had their individual recording sheets. But with kindergarten, I decided we were just going to make predictions on our anchor chart as to what the beads would look like when we went outside. And this is what it looked like. It was nothing fancy. There's magical beads inside. They're white, clear. Outside they might be. We made predictions. I circled which ones they were, and in the dark, they glow. So, spoiler alert, they glow in the dark. It's so funny though, because like that anchor chart, I totally was like on the spot just making it, and they're like, wow, Miss Cole, your handwriting is so amazing. I was like, thank you. And I got so many compliments on my unicorn anchor chart. They were like, Miss Cole, you're the best artist ever. I'll tell you what, kindergarten compliments are the best. They also said I was the best teacher ever after the whole unicorn experience, and I'm like, yeah, I am, thank you. I need to show you our magic beads. So this is what they look like inside. They're clear, and I just had them put them on pipe cleaners, and I told them to count to 20. That was the only thing we did for math today, was count to 20 with our beads. But you know, magical day. I'm gonna show you my phone because I feel like the exposure of my camera is just not catching it. Okay, I just walked outside, so they're glowing a little bit, but you saw that they were totally white, and then as soon as you go outside, they change. You can see it changing into all of the colors. You can see all those colors. I took them into the closet and I let them see it glow. Ooh, you can tell really good on camera. In case you missed in that 2-second clip, my closet is an absolute mess. That's a summer project. I think that's everything I wanted to share with you guys today. Tomorrow is a more laid back day. I knew I would need it. It is bubble day, so I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. I said I would catch up with you on bubble day, and it is in fact not bubble day. It is slime day. Such a bummer because I looked really cute yesterday. I wore a jean jacket and everything, but bubble day was a lot. Not in the sense that like the bubbles were a lot, but my kids, it was just a lot. They weren't listening to me for like probably 4 hours of the entire day, but we did blow bubbles. And I thought it was really funny because I got these bubbles from Target, and we went out there, and one of my kids figured out, like, we're all here holding this little handle trying to blow the bubbles, and one of my kids was so smart. They attached the wand to the inside of the little cap so that you just had to dip it, and I was like, wow, I had no idea it did that. You are a genius. But bubbles were really fun. They were very excited. They told me after Magical Day I was the best teacher ever, but then after Bubble Day they also said I was the best teacher ever, and I'm like, wow, all it takes is some bubbles and you're the best teacher ever. So that was fun. We did a couple of like bubble pop Go noodles, which they really liked that one. I was gonna do bubble gum, and then I decided it probably wasn't a good idea because of their masks, because I wouldn't be able to like see them, and I just didn't want any like choking or anything, so I didn't do that. And then I also didn't do the giant bubbles. Like, bubble day yesterday was very chill, very relaxed, and slime day is going to be about the same. Like, the only thing we're doing today is going to be making slime probably earlier in the morning, because in the afternoon we are going to a little readers theater for another teacher, and we are also going to tour first grade, so that'll be fun. I'll let you know how that goes, and I'll catch up with you in just a sec. But today was a super fun day. Started off in the morning, did our normal routine, and then I was like, we're gonna go into centers, which again, their center folders are not active currently, which they're still thrown off about. They're like, Miss Carl, what about our center folders? Nope, just do whatever you want in the center, which has been working out really nicely. My kids have been exploring some of the things that they weren't doing before. Like, now I think they've had more time and just, I don't know, more space to kind of play and kind of explore with those things. So that's been really great. Looking around right now, I feel like I should probably give you guys like an end of the year classroom tour. Let me know if you'd like to see that, because my classroom is a mess, and I feel like it's always fun to kind of compare the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and it is a mess, and I feel like it's always going to be this way in the history of forever. We did our normal literacy routine, and then we read a book about slime on epic.com, which they love anyways. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like Slime King or something. I read it to them, and I skipped a bunch of words because it was like a lot for them, but they don't notice. So we skimmed / read the Slime King, I think is what it was called, and then I made slime with them all on the carpet, and I kind of just had my projector down, and I kind of showed them the process. That way they knew what to expect. And we also made a little chart, but you can see it just says put in glue, add water, add baking soda, add color and glitter, add activator, which it's funny because one of my kids back here, when she was making her slime, she was like, my dad uses activator in his eyes for his contacts, and I was like, yeah, it's contact solution. So we made that little chart, and then I had them all go to centers, and then I pulled them to my back table, and I kind of buddied them up, because originally I was thinking, oh, we'll make it all together at once. And then I was like, no, I know these kids, I know kinder, like, it's just gonna be way too much. So I brought them back here kind of in groups of 2. So I had a group of 2 and a group of 2 at my back table, and they shared a bowl. So they each did half the work, and I said, you need to decide on a color together, color of slime, so we added the food coloring, and you need to decide on a color for glitter. And for some of my kids, that was really hard, because they were like, oh, well, I want red, oh, well, I want blue. But they did it in the end, it worked out. They all got their slime in a baggie with their number on it, and honestly, it took so long to do the way that I did it, and so I was like, you can just play with it at home. Let the parents deal with that. Sorry, parents, love you so much. But this is kind of how it came out. It's much better once it sets, but it is like pretty sticky. So I was like, yeah, we'll just send that home. And I feel like if my classroom didn't have carpet, it would have been totally fine. But there's carpet in here, not tile, and even if we did it at the tables, you know, kinder, I just didn't want to risk it. So I was like, you can play with it at home. And they just kind of played with it a little bit at the table. But they loved it. Again, said I was the best teacher ever. So, you know, I'll take that. I could really use that. It's like sticky, but it's not sticky. Like, it sticks to you, but it doesn't. So they were back here making slime with me. We went to lunch. When we came back from lunch, I was like, it's just going to be art time. Like, you guys are just going to get to color, use the dot markers, scissors, glue, just do art while I pull the rest of them to my back table for the slime. And then after that, which by the way, they loved. And then after that, the first grade teacher next door, Kenzie, came in because for her countdown, it was Nice Neighbor Day. So they had made ice cream the day before, and they were going to share it with us today and kind of give us a tour of first grade. So she came in here with her class, and we read this book together, Should I Share My Ice Cream by Mo Willems, which was cute, and it was super fun to like kind of like co-teach. Like, I've never co-taught. If it would be anyone, it would be her, but it was really fun to get our classes together. And then the first graders kind of took them throughout her room, and they were like, oh, this is where we do this is this, and the kinders ate it up, and then they had ice cream. And then after that, we came back into our classroom, and sixth graders came, and they performed like little what did she call them? Like a little kind of readers theater, but it had to do with like nursery rhymes. And a lot of it went over the kids' head, but they love having people in our classroom, and they were awesome. They were such a great audience, so that was nice. And then they had popsicles with them. And honestly, that was our whole day. Like, that's all we did, just a bunch of different activities. So it was crazy, but it was fun. And I'm really glad that, like, I know this is a lot of work for me to do all of these countdown days and themes and, you know, get together with everyone, but it does feel really nice to actually have some memories from this year, because I don't want all my memories to be like nothing. So this has been nice. A lot of fun that I think they needed and I needed for the end of the year. So as you can see, You probably can't see. My room is not how it normally looks. I did push all the furniture out of the way because first graders were going to be in here and then the sixth graders were going to be in here, and I just wanted it to be as open as possible. My room's pretty big anyway, but I moved all the furniture to the library, and that worked out really well for today. And I was like, you know what, it'll be perfect for beach day tomorrow because they will have their beach towels and they can like work on their beach towels all day. And I have all these balloons that the custodian let me borrow an air compressor for, so that was not bad at all. Yeah, I am tired, I am exhausted, and I feel like I have a just miles long to-do list. So we'll see. I am running out of steam. Luckily tomorrow's beach day. Luckily. So we're really not doing much. We're gonna be doing like one craft writing activity and then books and then beach day stuff. So hopefully that goes well. I'll check in with you tomorrow. It's after school on Friday, and today was beach day, which funny enough, today has been like the coldest day in like 2 weeks straight that we picked to do our beach day, but totally fine. So me and Kenzie's class, which is the first grade class, kind of had beach day together. So in the morning, I really just had time for one small activity before lunch, and that was these little summer bucket crafts. So they did like a little writing, and it says, this summer I want to learn how to do something, visit a place, play with a person or a thing. So we made a very, again, my anchor charts right now are just, it is what it is. So this is what it looks like. So I just have learn, visit, play with, and we just brainstormed a couple of ideas together, and I had them. It was so cute. All of my furniture has been moved to my library because of the things that we did yesterday with first grade and sixth grade. And I was like, you know what, it's so perfect because they will have their beach towels tomorrow and they can spread out all around the room with their beach towels and work, and they loved that. And I had a little like beach ambiance scene going. I wasn't able to find any of the whale watching or dolphin watching videos that were like good, so I felt like the beach scene in the background just kind of added to the mood, and they were very excited for beach music, oddly enough. But they were working on their towels and they were working so well, and they were so quiet and calm, and I was like, I'm gonna embrace this quiet and calm time because I know the rest of the day is gonna be crazy. And it was, but in a good way. So they came back in from lunch, and I have these beach balls, which you can kind of see maybe. So they all had a beach ball, and we were all sitting in a big circle, and I gave them a Sharpie and I was like, let's practice passing the beach ball first. And so every kid had a beach ball in their lap, and I was like, pass it to the next person and you're gonna get one. And that was so freaking hard. And I should have known with kindergarten, but I didn't. I just thought they would be able to do it, but we practiced so many times and it wasn't working. So finally I was just like, all right, we're just gonna write our names and we're just gonna shuffle them along. So we wrote our name, and I made this other super cute little anchor chart going over how to write on a beach ball. We want to be respectful, and I told them they were going to take them home, and then they got a little bit more invested in the activity. But it was funny because they were confused about if they were writing their name or someone else's name, and it was a big giant mess and balls were going everywhere, but it was fun, and they were really excited that they got to take a beach ball home. So after the beach balls, we went outside, which saying we went outside is one thing, but it actually took us like a good 20 minutes just to get ready to go outside, because some of them wore their swimsuits under their clothes like we asked, and some of them did not. But it was a whole lot of coordination, and then we finally got outside. We had 2 pools for them, a little slip and slide, and we also turned the sprinklers on. So it was a little crazy, but it was so fun to see them out there playing together, and I love that they like get to experience more with the different classes like first grade. And honestly, I'm so glad that we did water day with first grade, because trying to coordinate that by myself would have been an absolute nightmare. And so keep in mind, this was the coldest day. I think it was like 70-ish out there today. It wasn't cold, but the water was kind of cold, and I walked up to them at one point and I was like, how's the water? Is it warm? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no, okay. I will catch up with you on Monday, which is camping day, and I have a lot to prep before then. If I'm a mess right now, you really can't judge me. And if it's echoey, please also don't judge me because I'm in my office. But it is 7:30. And I just kind of wanted to talk about my day after school today. I know this video is mostly on like our countdown, but it is still a memory for me for the end of the school year as my last little vlog. So I sent out a message on Class Dojo like a week or like a little bit less than a week ago, and I was like, I'd really love to have some kind of get together either Monday or Tuesday after school. Let me know if you're interested and if you have a great spot in mind, because especially I really don't know the area, and it's not like I'm like going to parks. So someone suggested a park, and then I sent out a message like, if you want to come on Monday, I'll bring pizza, like it'll be at this park, please let me know if you can come. And I had a bunch of parents who were like, yes, we'll come, we'll come, we'll come. And then I sent out another reminder today, and I sent them home with a little reminder, and I had so many of my kids show up, and it was at 4:30. So I just stopped by Little Caesars and picked up like 5 pizzas, and it was so fun to get to see them in an after school setting, just it felt normal, you know? And of course we had been at school like an hour and a half ago, but they saw all their friends and acted like they had never seen them before in their life. But it was so sweet, and it was so fun, and it was nice to get to see them playing. And we were out at the park in the open air, so they weren't wearing masks, and they were running around the playground together, just having the best time ever. And it was also like a cool playground. It wasn't like our playground at school. Like, it was pretty cool, and I was out there with them just playing, and it was the best. And I also got to meet a lot of my parents for the first time, which was crazy because I've only seen like this much of them throughout the year. And so finally I like see them for how they are, and everyone was so nice. It just seriously one of the best feelings. And I had so many of them tell me like, thank you for everything you've done this year, and just being like really supportive and kind of like talking to me, and even saying like they wanted to help me in any way they could with my job search. Some of them offered to write me recommendations letters, and I was like, yes, absolutely, please, thank you so much. That would be amazing. They had nothing but like good things to say, and like a lot of them really appreciated everything I was doing, especially these last couple weeks, months, to like make the school year fun. And I'm like, I'm glad that's not, you know, going unnoticed. And a lot of them were telling me like their kids are talking about me, they're talking about school, and I'm like, good, that's what I want, because this year has been crazy. And even some of my parents were like giving me information on like other schools I could go to, and it was just really, really great. And it was nice to just get to spend time with people and kind of have that sense of normalcy. Like, it just felt right. And I spent like 2.5 hours out there with them, and I enjoyed every single second of it. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and reflect back. Also, one of my parents was like, you're a great YouTuber. And I was like, thank you. Good morning. Today is Tuesday. I am bummed that I forgot my camera yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. It was the last Monday of the year. And I have so many just like feelings about it. I did post on Instagram, so if you haven't seen this post, go read it, because it kind of just explains how I was feeling. The camping day yesterday was perfect. It was so much fun. I did just about everything I wanted to do, which is very rare. Honestly, it's rare, because as teachers, we plan all sorts of things, and then the day gets here and we're like, actually, we're gonna do this instead. Also, I wanna say thank you so much to Emma. If you're watching, this is probably gonna be a super long vlog, so if anybody at this point is watching, thank you so much. But Emma sent me a Starbucks gift card this morning and a super sweet message, and I really appreciate that. Yesterday, just my day in general was like great with my kids, and then after school, it's like I'm just going through the same things I've been going through all year, and it's made it really hard. But back to camping day. So we start off in the morning and we read Unplugged, which my friend Morris sent this to me a few years ago, and I read it with my first graders and they liked it, but my kindergartners really, really liked it. And it's about this little robot named Blip, and she gets unplugged and she has to go outside for the first time. And I was surprised. They caught on to things that I wasn't sure 100% they would catch on to, but they did. So like when Blip is in her own little world, she says, Blip learned new things. Blip played fun games, danced to music, and visited faraway places. I can't speak, it's early in the morning. And then when she goes outside later on in the book, outside, Blip learned new things, played fun games, danced to music, and visited faraway places. And they totally, like, they immediately caught on. They were like, that's what she did on the computer. And they just thought it was such a cute, fun book. They thought it was so sweet. So this book is actually perfect for kindergarten. I loved it for our camping day read aloud. Really, did it connect? Not fully, but was it a cute book to read? Absolutely. So love this book. And then right after I read the book, I was like, we're going to get started with our rotations, and I explained them all. You have to be so explicit with kindergarten. And the first one was at our main carpet area over there, and we did a Write the Room, which we have not done all year long. We haven't, and I love Write the Rooms. I do. We just haven't done it. So I have these words that I shared with you in my planning video. I picked some of the more shorter words, like none of these were up, but I picked like fire, cabin, forest, owl, stick. I even did like lantern, tent. So I picked like the simpler words for them. And I just kind of hung them around in what I call the learning center. So it was like the main area and then where they usually work, just that area. And that was the Write the Room. And then they use little finger flashlights and you just push it on like that, and they kind of like found the words, and that was the cutest thing ever. They loved it. I do have these linked. It's like 30 pack or something in my Amazon storefront. Love those. So Write the Room was the first station, and then the second station was these little puzzles that I had prepped. So one was a rhyming puzzle, like fire would rhyme with not bear, but they would put it together and get the matches. And then the other one was numbers. So they kind of made like a little s'mores with the different numbers. So they have a marshmallow, and then they had to count chocolate and then find the matching graham cracker for it, which they really liked. And I sort of differentiated it too, because I kept numbers 0 through 10 in one, and then 11 through 20 in another one, and then the rhyming words I kind of separated the more challenging ones. So that was easy to differentiate. And again, if you want any resources that I talk about in this video, check my other video. So we have Write the Room, the puzzles were in the library, and then at my table they made these cute little fire paintings. I'm obsessed. This was inspired by something that I've seen on Pinterest, and I loved it. This student just forgot theirs, so it was a perfect example. But I just pre-cut some construction paper because I wanted it to be something that like we could do really quickly in one setting, and this craft was perfect. This took, with the small group at my table, maybe 5 minutes. It was like the best, and look at the outcome. It's so cute. A little bonfire with a s'more. They were so excited. Or not a s'more, a marshmallow. And I just kind of showed them how to glue it at the bottom of their paper using mine as an example. And then after they glued these papers at the bottom, I had a kind of tinfoil, like a baking tray, and I kind of swirled together yellow, orange, and red just a little bit. So I had one baking tray that had paint in it and another baking tray that was empty, because whenever they stick their hand in the paint, it's like too much paint. So I had them stick their hand once inside the paint tray, and some of them were all about it, and some of them were like, oh my gosh, but it was so much fun to see them just stick their hand in. So they stuck their hand in the paint tray with paint, and then I said, put it on the other tray one time to just get most of the paint off, and then I just had them make a little fire. After that, I sent them to wash their hands. They came back, and I just put like a strip of glue on their paper, and I said, put your stick on top. So they put their little paper on top, and then I put some glue there, and then gave them a little cotton ball. And then while they were at lunch, I just dotted on the glue dots and just added glitter. The craft is cute by itself, but I love the effect that like adding glitter gives to it. So this was a win, and I love that it was super short. Literally, it took 5 minutes. So that was kind of my timer for our rotations, is whenever I was done with the craft at my table, I kind of looked around, I was like, okay, they're good, and we rotated. So it was super quick and fun rotations. And then the last rotation was marshmallow patterns, which I'll put a picture of right here. It was messy but fun, and luckily, like I've said before, I do have another teacher in the room, so she kind of hung out at that area just to kind of help them a little bit, but it was so much fun. They loved it. And then so after lunch, we made solar ovens, which unfortunately I didn't get a picture. I kind of made the solar oven wrong because I accidentally cut out the entire top piece. Oops. Oh well, they still work. Kids just love s'mores so much, so that was great. And then after solar ovens, we did free choice, and then they came back in and we did bingo. So here's a little picture of that. We used chocolate chips. One of my students, it's so funny because I went over like, you can't keep your chocolate chips in your hand, like leave them on the little, I gave them like a little square piece of paper to put their chips on. And I wanted it to be food just for fun, you know, it makes it extra fun. And one of my students was like, Miss Call, next time you should use M&Ms so they don't melt. And I was like, yeah, I should, but I had chocolate chips. So they're so funny. But they loved camping bingo, and I don't know, they still, let me know if your kindergartners have ever played bingo before, because half of mine were calling it out. They didn't have it. Some of mine didn't call out when they got bingo. I don't think they understood, so maybe it'd be better just to do like a blackout board with kindergarten, but it was fun. They were like, Miss Call, can we do this for morning meeting? And I was like, this isn't a morning meeting game, but we might be able to play more bingo. Oh, I forgot the other thing we did. I think this was after lunch, actually, so I skipped part. We listened to 2 camping stories on Epic and kind of compared them because they both had kind of similar themes, and then we wrote our own camping story. See, we did some stuff, some literacy activities. So we started off, so I had them kind of sitting in 4 corners of the rug in their 4 little groups, and then I asked everyone, I was like, what should our story be about? And kind of got everyone's opinions. And so we started off, once upon a time, an owl named Cutie went camping, and then I went to each group and had them add on to the story, and it was so funny. So this is our story. Cutie goes camping, which we put the title on at the end. So Once upon a time, an owl named Cutie went camping. First, she got lost. She got scared. Then she got scared by a bear. Ah! She runs away. She found a cabin. She ate cereal. The bear knocked on the door. Ah! She opened the window and flew away. She went home and ate marshmallows. And then at the end, I had them come up with the title. And they said, Cutie goes camping. And I said, great. And they asked me to write it fancy, which they love cursive, so I did. So that was their little story. And then afterwards, I let different kids come up with our little pointers and like read the story as a class. And they loved it. They could have done it all day long. So that was fun. And it kind of just reminded me of stuff I used to do with my first graders, because now we're at the end of the year and we're getting to the point where I'm like, oh, this is so sweet. Like, you guys are almost in first grade. And then after school came and I didn't have a great day. But then after school came and I had a little pizza party in the park with my students, and I did vlog at home. So I want to share that with you guys really quick. If I'm a mess right now, you really can't judge me. And if it's echoey, please also don't judge me because I'm in my office. But it is 7:30. And I just kind of wanted to talk about my day after school today. I know this video is mostly on like our countdown, but it is still a memory for me for the end of the school year as my last little vlog. So I sent out a message on Class Dojo like a week or like a little bit less than a week ago, and I was like, I'd really love to have some kind of get together either Monday or Tuesday after school. Let me know if you're interested and if you have a great spot in mind, because especially I really don't know the area and it's not like I'm like going to parks. So I sent out a message and I was like, if you want to come on Monday, I'll bring pizza, like it'll be at this park. Please let me know if you can come. And I had a bunch of parents who were like, yes, we'll come, we'll come, we'll come. And then I sent out another reminder today and I sent them home with a little reminder, and I had so many of my kids show up, and it was at 4:30. So I just stopped by Little Caesars and picked up like 5 pizzas. It was so fun to get to see them in an after school setting. And of course we have been at school like an hour and a half ago, but they saw all their friends and acted like they had never seen them before in their life. But it was so sweet and it was so fun, and it was nice to get to see them playing. And we were out at the park in the open air, so they weren't wearing masks, and they were running around the playground together just having the best time ever. And it was also like a cool playground. It wasn't like our playground at school. Like, it was pretty cool, and I was out there with them just playing, and it was the best. And I also got to meet a lot of my parents for the first time, which was crazy because I've only seen like this much of them throughout the year. And so finally I like see them for how they are, and everyone was so nice. It just seriously one of the best feelings. And I had so many of them tell me like, thank you for everything you've done this year, and just being like really supportive and kind of like talking to me, and even saying like they wanted to help me in any way they could with my job search. Some of them offered to write me recommendation letters, and I was like, yes, absolutely, please, thank you so much, that would be amazing. They had nothing but like good things to say, and like a lot of them really appreciated everything I was doing, especially these last couple weeks, months, to like make the school year fun. And I'm like, I'm glad that's not, you know, going unnoticed. And a lot of them were telling me like their kids are talking about me, they're talking about school. And even some of my parents were like giving me information on like other schools I could go to, and it was just really, really great. And it was nice to just get to spend time with people and kind of have that sense of normalcy. Like, it just felt right. And I spent like 2.5 hours out there with them, and I enjoyed every single second of it. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and reflect back. Also, one of my parents was like, you're a great YouTuber, and I was like, thank you. Yeah, I was actually in tears for a majority of the night last night after I got home, just crying, like thinking about how great it was, and crying because I was receiving so many good parent messages, and I was also receiving a lot on like Instagram, and I was crying all night. My husband was like, I'm really glad you had a good day. And I was like, me too. I really needed it. But today is movie day, so I'm wearing my pajamas. The kids are supposed to bring pillows and blankets and all sorts of things. I will check back in with you at the end of the day and let you know how it went. Let's just hope my Wi-Fi works today. Everybody take a second. Okay. Well, it is the end of the day. Made it through movie day. Got a little hot in my pajamas. I feel like I always do. I felt like we're at the point in the year where we are just having fun. So for the beginning of the day, what did we even do at the beginning of the day? I think we did free choice, yes. So I let them work on their morning journals, which I made Free Write Tuesday. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to show you. So while they were at recess, I moved their tables. So I have 1, 2, 3 tables, the ones that were normally in word work and writing, because I wanted them to be able to like have popcorn and be able to watch the movie if they wanted to. So I moved their tables like that, and they came in from recess and they were like, oh, whoa, Miss Call. Like, they were so excited, like I had totally transformed the room, and I'm like, this is all it took is moving some tables, but they loved it. They thought it was great. So I'm like, okay, win for me. And then I let them work on their journals for a little while. I finished up my presentation for kindergarten graduation. I had a couple of questions, like interview questions I want to ask them. Maybe I could do a little short video on kind of how my kinder graduation experience went. I don't know if that'll help anybody, but I know that I was struggling for ideas, so I can probably do that. Let me know if you want it. When they came back from lunch, I had their movie stuff ready and then got all their blankets and their pillows and their stuffed animals, and they spread out all on our carpet and they took their shoes off, so it kind of felt like a big like slumber party. It was a lot of fun. I actually wish I had done something like that with my first graders, but they really, really liked it. We watched Up, and it's like, I should have thought to maybe get butcher paper to put over the windows to kind of black it out a little bit more, because it was a little bit hard to see and there were like darker parts to the movie that they couldn't see. But they liked it for like 70% of the movie, and then they just wanted to talk and play, and I'm like, you know what, okay, fine, talk, play with your friends, free choice. I also finished report cards while they were watching the movie, so that was really nice. The thing I like about using AirPlay, Apple AirPlay on my TV or on my projector, is that you can mirror your display. So whenever my computer is projecting on the board, it's not plugged in, I'm just using the AirPlay, and I can extend my screen so I can be working on something on my computer and use my projector as kind of like a second desktop. So I just had their movie playing on the projector and I was working on the report cards, but like on the same computer. So that was really handy. Apple AirPlay is one of the best investments I ever made for my classroom, so love that. And then after movies, really they just did more free choice. We did have a little popcorn break in the middle of the movie. They got popcorn, they got Sprite, and they also got candy. They were like, Miss Call, are we getting candy? And I was like, you know what? Sure, absolutely. I've got so much candy I need to get rid of. And they loved it. They had the best time. So yeah, movie day was a success. I need to stuff my end of the year gifts for them. So actually I should go grab that from my car and do that now. Okay, so here are the pouches that you guys saw me make in my last video. And inside of them, I saw this from The Hungry Teacher Teaches 8th, I think. I'll pop up a picture of her post. And she has this free little bookworms to keep you company while you're reading this summer template. So I'm gonna put some little gummy worms in these bags, staple that, put those in here. I also have their photos that I developed, and this is a total fail. I didn't even think about it. I just got these envelopes because I was like, yeah, they'll fit, and I didn't see the size, but I was like, I think that's a 4x6. It's literally right at the bottom. And then their picture, it's like a fancy, sort of fancy picture of them. And I got these from Target. They're the little silly scents Play-Doh, and I know they'll love that. A little pencil, and then like another piece of candy, because kids will be just excited about candy. So that's pretty much everything I'm putting in them. And yeah, really the gift is this, but gotta stuff it and make it fun. Morning, it's the last day of school. I know there's a book that teachers read at the beginning of the year called like Butterflies on the First Day of School, but I feel like they should also have one for the last day of school, because I'm just filled with butterflies, and I do feel like today is the last day. Like it has that feeling. Like it doesn't feel like a normal day. Very excited, also feeling just like a tad bit emotional. We do have graduation today after school, so it's not like I'm gonna like say goodbye to my kids and never see them again. I still have graduation. Last night I did finish their little pencil pouches. I stuffed them, and then I wrote a letter. You can kind of see through the pencil pouch on the back of their photo, so they would have it. One thing I do regret is, pretty sure the first grade teacher gave them a photo of like her and them, and I'm like, I should have thought to just do that, because their picture here is super cute and super fancy and they'll love it no matter what. But I'm like, I don't know if they all have a picture of us together, but I'm sure at graduation they will. And the other thing is, I worked last night on my parent gifts, and I had my black cardstock, but I totally forgot my white cardstock because I was gonna mount their little silhouettes that came out so stinking adorable. Look, I used my Cricut. I think I already shared the tutorial that I used from another teacher, and I'm gonna mount them on white paper and put them in here. That is so precious. And these are parent gifts. So I'm gonna do that this morning. The silhouette tutorial is from Texas Aggie Teacher. And then there was an anchor chart I wanted. Actually, I wanted to do this anchor chart today that I saw Learning to Bloom Classroom do, because I want to read this book again. I honestly don't think I'm going to have time to make that anchor chart, and it'll be okay. But one of my friends posted, I'll have to find it in my likes. Instagram makes it so hard to find the posts that you like. Activity, It was Peaks and Pencils. She posted this anchor chart. I'm too lazy. So it's her name and then likes and dislikes. And she had her students come up with like all these things that she likes and doesn't like that they learned about her throughout the year. And I was like, that might be a fun little laid back last day activity. So that's one of the only things I'm gonna do. Catch up with you after school. I'm gonna work on these parent gifts and finish them up. Also, I finished putting together the video for kindergarten graduation for BU, which I took the jacket off. So I can probably show you the beginning of that. You were born to be so many things. My wish for you, no matter where your journey leads, is for you to always be you.
Be ready to take that next step toward being an amazing human being.
Because the beginning of it is me, but it has all the teachers in the school and it came out really nice. So very excited for that. Well, almost all the teachers in the school. At the end of the day, luckily, it went really well. I feel like I blinked and it disappeared. It was so quick. We got here in the morning. They played outside for a little while. I finished the parent gifts and they came out so cute. I don't know if I showed you guys. Let me show you. These are how the gifts turned out. It says 2021 right here. Focus. Super special. Kenzie watched them this morning while I finished that up. And they came inside. One of our friends brought donuts, so we had like a little donut party, and then after that we did this cute little anchor chart. And I was like, we've gotten to know each other all year long. Let's see how much you know about Miss Call. So it says Miss Call, and then loves and does not love. And the first thing, I was like, what does Miss Call love? And the first thing they said was her students. And I was like, yeah, I do, a lot. So her students, is this backwards to you? Meeting you for the first time in person, participating, having fun, cleaning, coffee, reading books, playing with you, flowers, hugs, learning, seeing leaders. Doesn't love was a little bit harder. We have fighting over toys. Nope, don't love that. Boss talk. Nope, don't love that. Interrupting, messy catties, and talking during read-alouds, because read-alouds are my favorite time of the day, but they are so talkative. We also read the first book we ever read together, which was Our Class as a Family, and like none of them remembered reading it because the beginning of the year feels like so long ago, but I was like, that's okay. And we kind of talked about how we were still a family, and we played for a little bit. They went to lunch, and while they were at lunch, I kind of went around campus and I was just, saying goodbye to everybody and thanking the people who were actually very welcoming and very kind this year to me. And just getting my goodbyes because I know not everyone is coming to kindergarten graduation. And then after lunch, first grade came into our classroom and it was total just busyness. They were loud, they were having fun. It's the last day of school. It was crazy. They were coloring, but it was fine. And then they left and I'm like, wow, I feel like I can finally breathe. And I feel like I can't even just like settle because kindergarten graduation is in a couple of hours. So I'm gonna go home and change and get ready. I need to like redo my makeup and put on like waterproof mascara. I already know. I know it doesn't look bad. It's only been on a few hours. But they got their end of the year gifts. They loved it. I told them not to peek, wait for their parents because the picture is inside and I don't want them to like, mess it up. I want their parents to like put that somewhere. But yeah, I might make a separate video talking about kindergarten graduation. I'm not sure. That was the countdown. That was my year. This is my last vlog for kindergarten. So I'm excited for what's to come. I will keep you guys updated on job searching, on interviewing, on all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end of the video, if you watched the whole thing, please leave me a comment, let me know. This was quite the year. And I'm so grateful I got to spend it with these kids. And I feel like I'm gonna be in my feelings all tonight. We did get the sappiest part of our day over in the morning because some of my kids like brought me little gifts. Like I got this cute little plant and then I got a lot of just like heartfelt cards and some gift cards too, which is like super sweet. But like everyone was just so sweet and they kept coming up to me and just telling me how much they were gonna miss me and they were so sappy and so sweet and I was like, we can't do this because I'm not gonna cry. One of my friends was like, Miss Call, I went home last night and I cried because I'm gonna miss you, and I was like, I'm gonna miss you too, but I love you and I'll always be your teacher. So lots of really sweet, super sappy moments happened in the morning and then the rest of the day was just a wild ride. So yeah. All right, you guys, love you so much. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed following me throughout this kindergarten journey. It's been an interesting one. I'll also be doing a reflection video probably and kind of talking about different things. So still have a couple more videos to film as far as kindergarten goes, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.